Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you guys are. So guys, we've got a big fight this morning between Terence Crawford and Sean Porter. I'm pretty sure you guys are looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. I know you guys are probably looking forward to it as well. I can't wait. I can't wait, guys. Let's talk about a legacy fight. Yeah, a legacy fight. That would be a legacy fight. Canelo v um, Canelo v Usyk. That would be what I would call a legacy fight. Guys, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Guys, make sure to smash the like button. I'd really appreciate if you smash the like button. I'm gonna paste the link. If anyone wants to come on, you can come on. But yeah, guys, Canelo v Usyk is a fight that I would be interested in, without question. What a great fight! A fight, that would take Canelo Alvarez to another level. It would take Canelo Alvarez to an absolute another level. If he could beat Alexander Usyk, yeah, I would love to see that fight. I would love to see that fight between Canelo and Usyk. Guys, smash the like button. I'd really appreciate if you smash the like button. Hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, guys, what do you guys make of this fight between Usyk and Canelo? Is that a fight that interests you guys? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Is that a fight that really interests you guys? That's definitely a fight that interests me, without question. That's a fight that interests me. I think it would be a huge fight. And I think Usyk would have to come back down to cruiserweight. I don't think Canelo should fight Usyk at heavyweight. I think if Usyk can come back down to cruiserweight, I think that's a fight. If Canelo really wants to prove um, he's a top guy at cruiserweight, then he needs to fight someone like Alexander Usyk. That's what I would say. He needs to fight Alexander Usyk. Guys, leave your questions. Smash the like button and leave your questions. Okay, we've got Brendan here. Brendan says Usyk is too much for Canelo. Do you reckon Usyk is too much? Um, Possibly. I think a catch weight would be good. Yeah, a catch weight would be good. Definitely would be good. I would love to. I'd love to see that fight. You know what I mean? But I think I do agree with Brendan. Usyk would be too much. I think Usyk. But some people listen. People are starting to talk about it now, though. DAZN were discussing it. Will Canelo Alvarez fight Alexander Usyk? It is a realistic fight, guys. It's definitely a fight that can be made because although I think I think it would be huge, um, jump up in weight, but I personally think it would be a good fight. Now, Brendan says Usyk's footwork, size, and work rate would be overwhelming. Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I think Usyk's footwork is unbelievable. I think his size, I think his movement, and we know Canelo does have issues. He does have a little bit of trouble against those styles. So definitely, it would be a very, very difficult fight. But that's a legacy that would take. If Canelo beats Usyk, honestly, I think you could say he's one of the greatest of all time, like greatest fighter ever. Literally, if he was to beat Usyk, that would be an unbelievable win. I can't think of a bigger win. So, what's going on, Mini Mills? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Bernie Mac says, in 2 years, Canelo can build up for the fight. Yeah, yeah. Usyk's not that old as well. I think he'll be around for a while. So yeah, I agree. I agree with Bernie Mac. What's going on, Mini Mill? Eric Lorenzo's in the house. What's going on, Eric? I'm a Canelo fan. I got Usyk winning comfortably. I can change my mind after I see Canelo performance of the Makabu. Yeah, I think Usyk, you're right there. I think a lot of people would pick Usyk in that fight. I think Usyk is big and he's very skilled. Would Canelo be able to? That's a difficult fight, man. It's a difficult fight. Mini Mills asking Imran, are you feeling much better? Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling much better. I'm feeling well. Thank you for asking. So Blitz Bain says, like I've said before, size does not matter for Canelo. So what do you think then, Blitzbane? You think he'll beat Usyk? You think Canelo would beat Usyk? That would be a difficult fight. Canelo would be the GOAT if he beat Usyk. Yeah, yeah, I'd have to agree that he'd be up there, definitely. Because to beat, with what he's achieved already, to beat an Usyk, bearing in mind what Usyk did, poof, Canelo Alvarez would be up there as one of the greatest ever. Okay, Javier Avila says Usyk is the same size as Callum, but a great big guy beats a great little guy. Yeah, you're right there. You've hit it. You're right there. You've hit the nail on the head. H. To be fair, if Canelo beats Usyk, that's possibly the biggest win in history. Yeah, possibly, possibly. Blitz Bain says, "Not know. You don't know." So, Greg, I hope you're well, Greg. Where's Greg gone? Where's his comment gone? Yeah, there's Greg giving his thoughts. Not only is Usyk going to be strong for Canelo, cruiserweight, he's also a great boxer, and that's Canelo's kryptonite. Yeah, that's the thing. Usyk kind of has a style which is already bad for Canelo, but then when you take in the fact that he's much bigger and very strong as well, I don't think if Usyk and Canelo were to fight, I don't think Usyk would stop Canelo. But I think it'd be very difficult for Canelo to overcome um, the size and the movement, and yeah, that would be difficult, man. That would be very difficult, and I don't know whether Canelo's got the power to really trouble Usyk. I don't know. Problem is Usyk is a better boxer. Problem is Usyk is a better boxer than than having all the disadvantages too. I can't see him doing it. Yeah, you're probably right. Brendan Jackson says Usyk has a nightmare combination of attributes for Canelo. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does. Guys, smash the like button. Everyone in the stream, if you can smash the like button, I'd appreciate it. Imran, AJ has a new trainer, and who's that? Mini Mill. Who's AJ's new trainer? Who's AJ's new trainer? There's nothing been announced. Usyk better than Canelo. H says Usyk is better than Canelo. I don't know if he's. I don't think Usyk is better than Canelo. I think obviously if they will go to head to head, then obviously I think Usyk would have the advantage because he's bigger and stronger. But I don't think you can say he's better than Canelo. I think Canelo's very good as well. Eric Lorenzo says it's crazy how we are talking about even talking about Canelo v Usyk. Yeah, that's true. It's true. But Canelo's now done something which moving up to cruiserweight, people are going to talk definitely. Blitz Bain says Canelo will not win now. He has to work for those weight classes. Yeah, he has to. Yeah, yeah. It'd be difficult, man. The fact that Canelo's moving up to cruiserweight is crazy. Usyk would constantly counter Canelo's counters. Canelo would have to invest heavily in body punches, but Usyk does that all night. Yeah, he does. And remember, Canelo's punches aren't going to have as much impact. Remember, last fight, Usyk fought Joshua, and Joshua's a massive puncher at heavyweight. Bernie Mac, what's going on? Javier Avila says, I would pay to see sparring session for sure. Yeah. So Big J says, I am a Canelo fan. I think he would need to pick a few cherries, then go for Usyk at that weight. Yeah, he's picking Makabu. Arceli Martinez says Canelo now would be 6 times world division. Wow. 6 times world division. What do you mean by that? Imran, does AJ have a new trainer? No, he does not. Not at this point. Usyk is too big. Canelo better tactician than Usyk. If they were the same size, Canelo all day. Yeah, I'd agree with AMAC there. I just think Usyk might be a little bit too big. Imran, are you watching the Porter Crawford fight tonight? Of course I am. Of course I am. That's not even a question, Mini Mill. That of course I'm going to be watching that fight. Of course I'm going to be watching that fight. You better believe I'm going to be watching that fight. Um, I'm not missing that for anything. That's a huge fight, a great fight, a fight that I'm not going to miss for sure. It's definitely a fight that I'm going to be watching for sure, for sure. Guys, get your questions in and smash the like button, guys. Get your questions in. I appreciate if you can get your questions in. Get your questions in, guys. And let's get this. So, what time is it at the UK now? So it's 10:45 UK, 10:45 UK time. Do you stay up all night for the fights, Imran, or just wake up for the main event? No, I stay up really. If I'm honest, I don't really go sleep because obviously once you go sleep, you don't really feel that good, and you feel like, oh, I can't be asked. So I stay up because then you're up. You know what I mean? When you wake up, it's not the same. It's not the same. Um, But yeah, I'm gonna stay up for that because this is a big one, isn't it? This is not one that you can miss. Smash the like button. Any tips to stay awake? Not really. Just have some green tea or something. I don't really have any tips. I just, when it's a great fight, you just can't get to sleep. Bud Crawford will be the first person to stop Porter Greg. Yeah, I agree. I think I've already made a prediction that I think Terence Crawford will knock him out. Stop him, knock him out, however you want to word it. I just think Terence Crawford is a very special fighter. I think Porter's kind of coming towards the end of his career now as well. He's been in a lot of tough fights, and I think it's probably the end of the road for Porter. If I'm totally honest with you, that's just the way I see it. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Maybe Porter pulls off the upset. Who knows? I got Crawford. Says Blitzbane. Blitzbane says he's got Crawford winning the fight. Um, I think a lot of people have got Crawford winning the fight. I think Crawford is a substantial favorite for sure. Khan is a future Hall of Famer. Imran Khan, a future Hall of Famer, possibly. I don't know. Probably one big fight away from being in the Hall of Fame. Like he had a good resume, but he maybe needed one big win. Maybe lacks that one big defining win. Maybe Maidana was a good win, but you know he needed one big win, which I don't see some of the fights he didn't get at the time, like a Bradley fight. Bradley, ducked that fight. That would have been a monster fight. Porter beat Usyk. Goat. Yeah, he did beat Usyk. To be fair, Porter did beat Usyk in the amateurs. Unbelievable. When you think about it, the size difference between the two, how the hell did Porter beat Usyk? But, he did. Fair play to the guy. He did beat him. Crazy. Crazy stuff. It's crazy when you think about it. Crazy how Porter beat uh, Usyk. When you think about how big Usyk is and the fact that Usyk just beat Joshua at heavyweight, you know, and you think, how the hell did he do that? You know, how the hell did Usyk beat? It's crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, Porter beat. Guys, get your questions in, guys, and smash the like button. I'd really appreciate if you get your questions in. Let's get this going. I'm gonna leave. If anyone wants to join the stream, I've left the link. This is what I'm saying. Um, this is what I'm saying. Um, Size does not matter. Oh, okay, I get you. It does when you've got a guy that's really skilled. It does matter when you got a guy that's really, really skilled. Size does matter massively. It does matter. When you got someone like Usyk in there, it definitely matters. So Arceli says Canelo beats Alungu at cruiserweight and beats Usyk that six world. You think Canelo beats Usyk? Wow. Wow. Do I box? Well, just a mess around on the pads and stuff. Not serious. Just to mess around on the pads, just to keep myself fit. I go gym a lot, so yeah, I train a little bit, not too much, not like anything serious. Um, but yeah, do a little bit on the bag and stuff. Um, Salute Imran, what's going on? Jesui Sariola, I hope you're good, brother. So I don't understand why some people are mad Canelo moving up in weight. In the mid time, Charlo and face Andrade or Benavides. I bet you want to see those fights, right? Yeah, man. You've been watching my videos, Jesui, and I've said that I want to see those fights between Charlo and Andrade and all those guys, Golovkin, Munguia. But unfortunately, those guys aren't fighting each other. I want to see those fights desperately, Jesui. But the problem is those guys aren't fighting each other, and Canelo's getting a rap because Canelo, for some reason, has to fight all of them. I don't know why when those guys don't fight each other. We need to move away from Canelo. Canelo one day is going to leave the sport. I just feel like all these guys are they're blagging their way. You know what I mean? They're blagging their way. They're not giving us what we want. We want to see them fight each other. We want to see them fight the best. We want to see them fight all of. It's just peeing me off. It's really frustrating that we don't get the best v the best. Skill matter more in the ring and intelligence. Yeah, skill does matter, but obviously you're talking about a guy in Usyk is very skilled. Honest opinion on the Andrade win and the quality of Quigley, Imran. I think Quigley was fairly poor. He didn't really put up a fight, to be honest with you, Greg. I was expecting Quigley to put up a much better fight than what we saw. That was bad, man. That was bad. Liam Williams put up a great fight, and he actually made Andre look vulnerable in that fight. But Quigley, man, that was bad, man. That was shocking, to be honest with you. As soon as Andre landed a few punches, and it wasn't. Listen, Andre's a quality operator. That's why we need to see Andre tested. But yeah, Quigley, I don't know. Quigley just wasn't. Quigley was quite highly rated at one point in the UK, and that was a terrible that was a big fight for him, at a big stage, and he just that was terrible performance, and he got a lot of stick. A lot of people calling him an Uber driver. I don't really like giving fighters stick, but and I felt that it was harsh. People calling him an Uber driver and a bum and stuff like that. But that performance was really poor. And when you're on your when you're in a big fight, for you a big fight, and you perform like that, it leaves a bad impression. Look at Callum Smith. Callum Smith was a good fighter, but Callum Smith went in against Canelo and he really did poorly in that fight. And that really hurt his credibility. When you go in there, that's hurt Quigley's credibility because now people look at Quigley like he's no good. What happened to Prince Naseem Hamed, future Hall of Famer? Yeah, I think he's already in the Hall of Fame, Naseem Hamed. I think Naseem Hamed is already in the Hall of Fame. If Porter found him out at one time, Canelo can game plan, build for Usyk, making moves strategically. If Porter found him out one time, Canelo can make game plan, build. Yeah, but that was in the amateurs, that Bernie. That wasn't in the pros, man. That's an amateur fight, 3-round fight, No way Canelo Usyk. No way Canelo beats Usyk, says Jerry. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think he's too small. No, Canelo would get stopped. Wow, Marky Dan says Canelo would get stopped against Usyk. I don't know about stopped, but I think he'd lose a points decision. Stopped. Usyk's not really a big puncher, but maybe, Usyk's a big guy, isn't he? So maybe he could stop Canelo. I doubt it, but Stephen, they don't want to fight each other because they're looking for a Canelo stimulus payday. Yeah, of course they are. Of course they are, Stephen. Of course they are. They want that payday, and I don't blame them as well. But at the same time, what are you going to bank on Canelo giving you that payday? Earn your shot. Put yourself in a position where the fans demand that fight. At the minute, the fans aren't demanding Canelo to fight Charlo or Andre or any of those guys because those guys aren't fighting each other. If those guys start fighting each other, the fans will start demanding for those fights. So Jerry says, major difference between pro and amateur. Come on now. Yeah, big difference. Big difference. 3-round fights. Quigley did not make it to the third round. Yeah, he didn't blitz Spain. He was very poor. Very poor. IMTV fans duck. Boo, boo, Andrade. Fans duck. Is that what Andrade said in the post-fight where something like that? He said something about the fans. I'm a Canelo fan, and I say no, he doesn't beat Usyk, says Eastlos. No, he doesn't beat Usyk. I'd have to agree. I think most people, even Canelo fans that are hardcore Canelo fans, are saying that Usyk beats Canelo. But you know what? If Canelo fights Usyk, I'll take my hat off to Canelo Alvarez because Canelo Alvarez would be daring to be great if he was to fight. I don't know when you're a cash cow whether you need to take that risk, but let's see. I just don't think Andre can shoot at anyone about big fights with the quality of his opponents, mate. Quigley was only moved into WBO top 10 to get the Andre. Well, Greg, Quigley he isn't really a top 10 guy, if I'm totally honest with you. Andrade, he needs a big fight, Greg. He needs a big fight. Enough's enough. He needs a big fight, Greg. He needs to get a big fight. Munguia, Charlo, Golovkin has to be next. Or if he can't get those fights, then he needs to move up and fight Benavidez, or then he needs to go up to light heavy and fight Bivol. He can't keep doing what he's doing. He can't keep doing what he's doing. It's just not good enough. Canelo interview said he is willing now to go to heavyweight. That's cojones. Yeah, but I don't really want to see him go to heavyweight, to be honest. That's those guys up there at heavyweight are massive. Yeah, I think cruiserweight's probably the limit for Canelo, especially with the modern day heavyweights. The modern day heavyweights guys are 6'6", 6'7". Canelo would have no chance. Those guys are almost a foot bigger than him. So yeah, that's not realistic. The Usyk fight, if Usyk comes down to cruiserweight, even that would be a far stretch for Canelo. But at least it's more realistic. But guys, smash the like button. Smash the like button on the videos, guys. I really appreciate if you can smash the like button. No way in hell can Canelo beat Usyk. Not only is Usyk way too big, but he's just too skilled. And he will toy with Canelo like a school kid. Canelo will look silly against Usyk. Possibly, there's a good chance that happens. No other division ranked him anywhere near that. Yeah, because Quigley wasn't good enough. He just wasn't. Hachi, Canelo is more skilled. The only reason he beats Canelo is because he's too big. I'd have to agree. I do think. Here's the thing. I think people underestimate how good Canelo is from a skill point of view. I think they'll look. I think they'll look at Canelo and they think, oh well, Canelo's not that skilled because he doesn't look as good pleasing to the eye. But Canelo is a very skilled fighter. The thing is with Usyk is just so big. So that would be a huge advantage to Usyk against Canelo. Isaac says, if Canelo was a heavyweight, then he'd beat Usyk and Fury's nightmare. Yeah, of course, but he's not a heavyweight. That's the thing. Andrade been begging for retirement money. Blitzbane says Andrade needs a big fight. IMTV, who's the best pound for pound, Usyk or Canelo? Canelo right now. I think Usyk has had a great win, and you can make an argument for Usyk, but I just think Canelo's too accomplished right now. Imran, what's going on, bro? Hope you're doing well. Antibody, I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. I'm very well, thank you. Arceli says Canelo will fight Usyk and beat him. Wow. Wow. That's a big statement right there. That's a big statement. If Tyson figured out Wilder from watching Wilder's amateur loss to the Russian Usyk can be figured out, you just got to build for it. Canelo has the IQ talent. He just needs to build. It's tough, mate. It's tough. Bernie, it's tough. If Canelo was 6 foot tall, at least he would be a heavyweight champion. Yeah, it's all ifs and buts though. Unfortunately, Canelo's not 6 foot. Canelo beats Charlo and Andrade easily, but Benavidez, that's a fight I want to see, says Jerry. Nah, man, I think he beats all three. To be honest, I don't really see them being. Yeah, I don't see Benavidez beating Canelo. To be honest, it's crazy about Canelo v Usyk is even a conversation. We can have been looking back in a few years and when Canelo was fighting the likes of GGG, etc. Yeah, you're right. It is crazy. It is crazy. Is Munguia ready for Charlo and Boot? Yeah, he's ready, but he doesn't want to take the fight. He doesn't want to take the fight. Munguia, I don't personally think his team think he's ready. I don't think his team think he's ready. I think they think that he needs more pampering, more fights before he gets to that level. Tiger Stripe says Canelo moving up in weight classes without having stamina issues and having punching power going up. Suspicious as hell. Tiger Stripe says. Ooh, Tiger Stripe bringing up that elephant in the room about Canelo showing no sign of fatigue anymore. Agree, Usyk beats Canelo. Yono says yes, agree. Yeah, I think Usyk's just too big. Greg says I was happy that he mentioned GGG and Munguia Charlo. I'd the fight for him though, in my opinion. If he fights and beats Charlo, he proves the critics he's here to take titles. Yeah, the problem is, Greg, Charlo doesn't seem interested in a Andrade fight. He's talking about he's a horrible fighter. So I don't think Charlo's really that interested in that fight. Marky, damn brother, how are you? I hope you're well. Usyk is big and puts his combinations together really well. Plus 16 fights at Cruiser, he had 13 KOs. I think he stops him. Wow. Probably. I don't think he stops Canelo, to be honest with you. But Canelo's shown a very good chin, and Canelo's not hard. He's hard to hit as well. Yono says agree with East loss. IMTV Christian, the Canelo hater. Ryan Lamb says Porter wins tonight. Stop it, Ryan. Stop it, Ryan. You know Bud's got this. You know Bud's got this. You know Terence Crawford's going to do a job on Porter tonight. You all guys know that Terence Crawford's going to do the job tonight. They also said there was no way in hell that Canelo would go up to cruiserweight. Yeah, yeah, they did say that. They did say that. But let's see how he does against Makabu. Really, do you think Canelo is more skilled than Usyk? Can you explain? Well, here's the thing. Just because a guy doesn't look as pleasing to the eye, Canelo's a very versatile fighter. Canelo can fight on the back foot. Canelo can come forward and pressure you. Canelo's got great head movement. Canelo's got punching power, something Usyk doesn't have, especially the punch power to the extent Canelo's very explosive. He's a pressure fighter. He can fight in the center of the ring. He can box with you. Canelo's an all-round, multi-dimensional fighter. Usyk has one style. Now, that style is very effective and very good, but he has one style. Canelo is very versatile, and that's what makes Canelo great. Honestly, I think Canelo should try to get the Usyk fight, because even if he loses, there's no shame, literally. But if he wins, imagine the world would go crazy. There's always a chance in winning. Yeah, you got a good point. He'd be daring to be great, wouldn't he? I guess Amir Khan tried to fight Canelo and he was daring to be great. So, I'm pretty sure Canelo can. Imran, I feel some guys are whining and crying about just one man, which is Canelo. What are their favorite fighter doing? Fighting Montiel, fighting Davis. Come on, man. Yeah, that's true. It's time for those guys to step up and fight each other. Until they have the desire to fight each other, we're not gonna get good fights. 160, 175 are winnable fights for Canelo. Yeah, I think he beats all of those guys at 175. It's really crazy how we got to the point. Canelo v Usyk shows how skillful Canelo is if we're putting him against the monster Usyk. Yeah, 100%. That would be some statement. David Benavidez called out Boo Boo. Yeah, I would love to see that fight. I'm a Canelo fan. I don't see Canelo at heavyweight. Canelo even said his body wouldn't allow him to go to heavyweight. I had someone saying yesterday that Canelo said he wants to go to heavyweight. I don't know. I am team you going live for Porter fight. I want to, but I might do a post reaction. I want to watch the fight in peace. That's why I've gone live now. People don't understand when Canelo retires, no one will talk about him beating Benavidez, but they will talk about Canelo being a 5-division world champion. Yeah, indeed. I agree. Legacy is everything. Usyk slow, Canelo too skilled for Usyk. Usyk slow, Canelo too skilled. Wow, that's a big statement. Usyk's very fast. I think So you're seeing. Okay, 1 second. Is Makai? Yeah, Makai. What's going on, Makai? Makai, you there?
What's up, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad. You looking forward to the fight?
Yeah. I'm gonna stay up. I can't wait for it. To be honest, it's gonna be great.
Are you watching it live with us? Are you is that why you're live now then?
I don't know. I doubt I'm gonna be doing a live stream while I'm watching the fight. I just
Yeah,
want to watch the fight in peace. But yeah, I might
yeah,
do. It depends on how I feel.
exactly, mate.
I
Yeah,
might go live. Let's see. What about you? Are you gonna stay up for the fight?
yeah. I'm gonna stay up. I mean, I'm pretty sure the undercard starts in like half hour, and so I reckon the main event will be around like 3. So yeah, I'll
Yeah,
probably stay
yeah,
up for that.
yeah. Makai, I want to ask you a question about Canelo v Usyk. Do you think that's a possibility? Do you think that fight could happen? And if it does
And
happen, how do you see that one playing out? Do you
I,
think?
I
Yeah, go on.
yeah, I don't think that fights would ever happen, and I mean that's unfair if people are trying to get Canelo to fight Usyk.
Well, DAZN
Like,
were talking about
mm,
it today. They were
oh
talking
really?
about that fight. Yeah, they were talking about Canelo possibly fighting Usyk. If Usyk comes back down to cruiserweight, would Usyk be tempted back down to cruiserweight for that fight?
I mean, doesn't that tell you how good they think good they think Canelo is? They get him
Yeah,
to
yeah.
fight for
Mm-hmm.
Usyk, who is literally a heavyweight now, who just beat
Joshua.
AJ for the belts.
Yeah,
He's possibly the best heavyweight at the moment there, and they think they want Canelo to fight him. I feel if that did happen, like Usyk went down to cruiserweight if he could,
yeah, Yeah.
Usyk would beat Canelo like he beats his other opponents. Usyk is too big for him, and right. And this time, Canelo will be fighting someone who's really big, yeah, but is a special talent like Canelo.
Mm,
Usyk's special.
mm,
He's very good at what he does. He's
mm,
a once in a lifetime fighter as well. Like same with the Lomas, same with guys like Crawford. Guys like that, Pacquiao,
mm,
and Usyk's going to be a lot bigger than him. Like
mm,
that's just it's too unfair for Canelo.
Yeah, I hear you. I think
Way too
the
unfair. Yeah.
the size difference and then the skill level of Usyk would
Mm.
be too much, unfortunately. But I definitely think it'd be Canelo daring to be great if he takes a fight like that.
Oh yeah.
That would be great. And imagine if he pulls it off and wins. Oh my God.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I'm thinking about it.
Mm,
I don't see how Canelo will be able to beat Usyk, to be
mm,
honest. And I mean,
mm,
and yeah, Canelo he can whack me, but Usyk's definitely like been in there with stronger guys, so he's used to it. Like I don't think the power
mm,
will bother him as much as it did to like guys like Callum Smith, guys
mm.
like that. So
The
yeah,
only thing is, I don't think Usyk has been in the ring with anyone as skilled as Canelo. But
yeah, I'd agree. I'd
um,
agree.
but the thing is, I think the fact is that he's a smaller man, so
Yeah,
that would be a big that's a big that's a big problem when you're going in in a fight with somebody that's so skilled and so much bigger than you, and we don't know. Who knows? Usyk might knock Canelo out. You know.
you know what Usyk, he's not a guy who hits you. Yeah, you're going out cold with one punch.
Mm,
But Usyk, he does hit hard. I mean, he rocked AJ a few times as well. I mean, AJ, he's not, his chin's not that great anyway. Never has been. But Usyk can punch.
mm. Little Penny, how are you?
Imran, how are you? Makai, how are you, mate?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, good, good.
We're all good, man. We're all good. It's good hearing you. Good speaking to you. You know what, Little Penny? We were just talking about Canelo v Usyk. DAZN brought this topic up today about Canelo fighting Usyk. In the near future. If Usyk, the other thing which would be interesting is the fact that if Usyk comes back down to cruiserweight at 190 pounds, would he be able to make that now?
Nah, no way. He didn't Usyk weigh in at about 230 against AJ?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
put on a
that's
lot
what
of
I'm
weight for
saying.
the
That's what
AJ
I'm
fight.
saying.
Man, 40 pounds to cut that weight. That's too much. That's not he won't be able to make that weight anymore. Like
I mean, it
once
depends.
yeah, sorry, Makai.
Oh, so yeah, so I was just saying, let's just say if it was actually going to happen, yeah, it would, like the camp would have to be really long for like Usyk to cut the weight healthily. If you know what I mean, like a bit like with when Mikey Garcia fought Spence, not like he was cutting weight or anything, but like when he had to gain weight and everything, that wasn't that like 3 months. It was quite a
Yeah,
while.
and Makai Imran, once you settle into a weight class, it's not many people go back down. Like for example, with Manny Pacquiao fought Ricky Hatton at 140, then he went to 147. He settled in that weight class and never came back. And Manny Pacquiao is probably walks around at 142. So for him to lose 2 pounds, it's not too hard. But he didn't want to do that because he was you're already in that you're comfortable in that weight class already. And I think with Usyk, I don't think he wants why does he need to look, he's probably looking for a payday maybe, but he's got some paydays at the heavyweight too, so it's not like he needs Canelo.
Yeah.
Canelo
You
needs
know,
him for
you know what the
legacy.
thing is, though. You know what the thing is. Like, firstly, I want to say hi to Lee. Right, I hope you're good. I hope you're well. Thanks for dropping in the live stream. But yeah, Lil Penny, you know what it is? Canelo's probably the biggest payday for him, but not just that. Canelo would also be a fight where he'd look at and think it's not as dangerous because of the fact that Canelo's a lot smaller than him, and he probably looks at that fight as maybe easy pickings, because of the fact that Canelo's a lot smaller. Not to say Canelo is an easy fight for anybody because Canelo's not an easy fight for anyone. You know, even though Usyk is so much bigger, I still don't think it'd be an easy fight because I think Canelo is just so skilled and so good. But you know, I think it would be a great fight, man. I think it would be something that Canelo, if he wins that fight, you know, you could make an argument for him being the GOAT. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but Imran, that with Usyk, if his fights with AJ, and if he wins that, and he fights Fury, those are pretty big paydays too.
Yeah. Of course, massive paydays.
He's probably getting crazy money for the rematch, mate. With
Yeah, he would.
Joshua.
That's true, actually. You know,
Probably
Little
get
Penny's
good
got
money
a
with
good
that.
point. They are big pay. But what do you think would be a bigger payday, Little Penny? Canelo Usyk or Usyk Fury?
Oh man, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, because if he beats AJ,
Yeah.
that fight against Fury will be really big in
Yeah.
England. Man.
Makes it 10 times bigger.
Yeah,
But you
man.
know what? I don't think Little Penny, I don't think is big, but I don't think it's that big. I think AJ Fury would be like massive.
Oh yeah, yes.
But Usyk Fury, I don't know. It'd be big, but I don't know how big it'd be, Little Penny. I don't think it'd be. I don't think it'll break records. Do you know what I mean? If you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
You know how like Fury and Joshua would probably break the UK pay-per-view record.
Is the record for pay-per-view in England, is that the Ricky Hatton Mayweather fight? I think it was 950th from memory.
No. Joshua's got that now. I think Joshua, he's done over 1 million pay-per-view.
I think Joshua's got like the top three. Like all three
Joshua's
of them.
done like, I think he fought Klitschko. That did like 1.5 million, I think.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the Joshua Usyk fight's probably going to do a lot more. The rematch,
possibly,
I reckon.
Possibly. I think Joshua Fury, they were saying, could have done up to 3 million, 4 million.
Oh yeah, 4 would have done so much, man.
How can Mayweather Hatton only do 950 in England?
Because it was 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. People don't like waking up at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, like that fights in the morning. That's pretty big though, Little Penny. That's probably the record in terms of 4 in the morning to do almost 1 million paper. Imagine, Little Penny, 1 million people brought the fight on Sky 4 a.m. in the morning. So 1 million people stayed up to watch that.
Yeah, I remember the build-up. Didn't they go to England or to Manchester?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did the press conference.
Raining, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, in Manchester.
Manchester, sorry, and it was raining. From memory, I remember that it was huge.
Yeah.
Han had the most loyal fans, man.
Yeah, he did. He had fanatical fans.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the Mayweather fight. The arena was all packed out, full of Hatton fans.
Yeah, and didn't the MGM Grand? I've been at the MGM Grand, although it's a humongous. It's like a friggin' village. Like it's so huge. And there's so many nightclubs there. Didn't the nightclubs in that weekend? Didn't they run out of beer or something, and then they had to announce?
I don't even know.
You have to go to Mandalay Bay or across the street to New York, because there's no more beer left at the MGM Grand. I mean,
the Ricky Hatton's fans.
Sounds about right.
You know what Goku says? Goku says Rumble in the Jungle was watched by 1 billion people on TV.
Yeah, that's not pay-per-view though.
Yeah, that's not. No, it's not pay-per-view, but still, that's crazy. 1 billion people.
Oh yeah.
Imagine having a fight on TV and 1 billion people watch that.
That's what happened when Ali's fighting. Everyone just sat and watched.
Yeah.
Everyone stopped what they were doing.
Didn't the Hearns Sugar Ray Leonard one in 1981? Wasn't that on normal TV as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
That would have been pretty big as well.
Those were iconic fights between like great fighters, man. When you think about it, like that would have been a great time to be in around boxing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, legends like that, great fighters, legends, would have been great to be around boxing at that point.
I'm seeing a lot of comments saying that Canelo said he would fight a heavyweight, and obviously if he would do that, he'd obviously have to fight someone ranked. Like Maccabee, he's got a belt and he's like number 3 ranked. So who would he fight a heavyweight then? Do you guys reckon?
He would wait. He would cherry pick like what he's cherry picking now, he would wait for someone like Brazil to get a belt, and then he'll fight him like quickly. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah, but
remember,
even
yes.
Brazil, little Penny, Brazil's 6'7".
Yeah, he's big.
So that's almost a foot bigger than Canelo.
See, the
You
thing
know,
Yeah.
is,
like
with Canelo started at 147. I'm just
yeah,
comparing here. Roy Jones started at, I think,
160.
160,
Yeah,
and then Jones went to heavyweight. Canelo, I think heavyweight's too big for him, even
yeah, he
Yeah,
cruiserweight.
is. Yeah,
cruiserweight's too big for him, but I mean,
yeah, but you know what? He is fighting a smaller cruiserweight in the sense that, like height wise, like if you look
mm,
at the other cruiserweights, they're like 6'3" or so. In Coley's case, he's six
mm.
foot five. You know, so he is fighting a fairly smallish. I'm not saying Makabu's big. Don't get me wrong. He's a big guy, way bigger
Yeah,
than
but
Canelo.
I
But
reckon knowing Canelo, he will have either a catch weight or have a rehydration clause in this fight.
Yeah, the cruiserweight limit is not actually at the limit. They've moved WBC. They've moved it down £10. So Makabu, he's not going to feel good on fight night probably because he has to, he'll have to cut more weight.
Mm. Didn't
mm,
Canelo put a rehydration clause on Kovalev?
But apparently he didn't. Then we found out on the weigh-in day that there was a rehydration clause. But I always forget about Canelo using that. He used it with. I think he only used it with Kovalev, or didn't he use it with Jacobs, or wasn't that like an IBF rule?
Yeah, I think that was an IBF rule. But he also uses catchweights. Like he fought Amir Khan at 155 from memory. Amir Khan is a 140 fighter.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
He
weird as well
also
because it's
fought.
only a
No, he
pound
also.
diff.
But that was his weight for a couple of fights. He fought loads of guys at
Mm.
155.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just like a pound
Didn't
over
he
the
fight
actual
Cotto
limit. I
at
don't
that
know
weight?
why though.
Didn't he fight
Yep,
Cotto at 155?
yep.
So we fought quite a few guys at 150, 155. But Cotto was actually a big dude as well. Like he wasn't that small. He was actually quite a, he could have fought at 155, but he was smaller than Canelo. But
Mm.
um, I think it's crazy, man, when you think about it. Like we're even talking about Canelo fighting Usyk these days.
Yeah,
It just shows how far he's come. When we just think about it, as Mackay said, we was fighting Golovkin not so long ago. Golovkin's at
yeah.
middleweight. You know.
Yeah, I would
Another
have
thing
thought
is,
that.
little Penny. I don't know if you know this. That Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs. Did you know that?
Yeah, I heard about that. But yeah, amateurs, man. Like
Yeah.
I've seen a few Olympic fights. It's based on points. Like it's not. I think they've changed it now, but previously, like if you knock someone down, right, and the other guy hits you twice, the
Mm.
other guy wins that round.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
like yeah. So I don't know. I don't really like. I don't put too
I mean,
much.
Paul and Usyk, they were obviously they were quite young, but like it's still. I mean, Usyk was definitely still quite good.
Mm.
Obviously, I wish it was on tape. I would have liked to have seen that.
Hey, Imran, I want to see this Amir Khan, Kell Brook fight. Well, I think Kell Brook has already signed his end of the deal. What's going on with Amir Khan? How come he doesn't want to sign it?
I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. Well, Amir Khan says that there's been nothing that's been signed. The contracts are going back and forth, but nothing's been signed yet.
Kell
I
Brook
just
said,
think it's nonsense, to be honest. I
didn't
don't think
Kell Brook
anything's been
said
signed yet. But I do think the fight will happen, though.
didn't Kell Brook say on social media that he's signed it on his end? Now
Yeah,
it's on
I think
Amir
he was
Khan.
I think he was talking nonsense, to be honest. I don't think
Okay.
anything's been signed.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Brook, wasn't Brook doing the same thing with Crawford, saying he's avoiding them and all that? I think it's
Yeah,
just
I
what
don't.
Brook
I don't think
does.
it's about any one of them avoiding each other now. I just think it's
Yeah,
about them. I think it's just going. They're trying to sort out the detail because you can't sign a contract that's not even been finalized.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why people are still using that. Like, Khan, he's avoiding Brook. Why? No, I've seen Khan fight more dangerous guys. I mean, I remember when Khan, he when he was fighting Canelo, saying if he beats Canelo, he wants Golovkin.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah,
he would have got knocked out like cold. Well, I
yeah.
mean, he wasn't even going to get
The
past
Golovkin
Canelo,
fight would
but
have been dangerous, man. That would have
I
been
mean,
dangerous
Khan
for him.
was up. Khan was up for it. Khan's up for fighting
Yeah, he did.
anyone. He's not afraid of Brook. I
To
don't
be
know.
honest, you know what? To be honest, you know what? You know when he was fighting Canelo, I remember the commentators because Khan was doing very well for the first
Mm,
4 rounds. They were like,
Yeah, he
if
was.
Khan beats Canelo, he would his hand speed be a puzzle for Golovkin, right? And basically, and everyone started thinking after the first couple of rounds that he could actually pull this off. He wouldn't have got the decision even if he managed to get to 12 rounds because he was down on the cards.
Yeah.
You can't beat Canelo on the cards, especially in Las Vegas. That was like Mayweather. Like, you can't beat Mayweather in Las Vegas because A, he lives there, and two, he probably owns the Nevada State Athletic Commission. So own as in like in asterisk per se. And also the WBC, they love Canelo. You know what I mean? They'll do anything for him. So. But look, I gotta admit, man, Amir Khan, he was one of those guys who fought everybody. Like I remember him in the when he was with Freddie Roach, that stable, when he and Pacquiao and a lot of other and what was the other guy, that Russian dude who eat raw meat? What's his name? He fought and he gave a candle to what's his name, to that Denver guy. You remember him? That guy who was like a brawler. Damn, what was his name? He fought Timothy Bradley. Remember?
Provoktinov.
Yeah, Provoktinov. That stable. My God, like that stable. That was a really good stable, and I just don't know why Amir Khan left Freddie Roach at that time. He should have stayed.
Yeah, that was his best years, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Khan's problem was just his chin, man. I mean, he was great at everything else, really. I thought, he'd always be outboxing them, and then he'd just get flipping caught, and then he just wouldn't be able to recover. Like it was such a letdown.
I reckon Mackay, if Khan played it safe against Breeders Prescott and not like went for the kill straight away, I think his legacy would have been a little bit different. Like,
possibly, yeah.
Because that Breeders Prescott, that really like it. It's kind of like the bones were out of the closet per se.
Yeah.
There's like a blueprint to beat him.
And the amount of hype Khan had on him as well, and then he just gets done like that. I bet he was getting called all sorts of things when that happened.
Yeah, and it's not like he's got a badge in, dude. He fought Maidana, and he went through hell to Maidana, and he took all of his shots, right? And Maidana nearly knocked out Floyd Mayweather in a rematch. I don't know if you noticed. I think it was in like the fourth round.
It's weird though, isn't it? I mean, we've seen Khan get floored and everything, get hit with punches he hasn't been able to cover, and then he's went a full 12 rounds with Maidana. Even as you said, took the biggest punches he could have. Like it's insane, man. Mental.
Yeah, I think he was just too brave for his own good. I think Imran probably mentioned this a few times on his videos. I think he played for the fans too much, kind of like with Pacquiao. Like he instead of fighting for his own good, he fights for the fans, which is great. That's what we love.
Right. Yeah, that's what we want.
Yeah. So whereas like with Mayweather, for example, he fights for himself. Like he doesn't care if anyone's booing. Like, whereas if you hear a boo on Manny Pacquiao's fights or Amir Khan's fights, then the next round they try and up the ante. You know what I mean? Because they want to be they want us to be entertained.
Yeah,
someone's disagreeing.
Mayweather was a more skilled fighter, though, wasn't he? Like, they were more offensive. Khan and Pacquiao were more offensive fighters. Like, they went out, they just had a more exciting style. Mayweather was more efficient. He was just difficult to beat. You couldn't beat the guy. It was very difficult.
Like when Mayweather has someone like for example, when he fought the Argentinian guy, he could have knocked him out though if he really tried. I think that was for the lineal. Yeah, the Argentinian guy. It was for the lineal 147. It was after the judo fight. Carlos Boldemir.
Oh yeah, Carlos. Yeah.
Dude, man, he could have easily knocked him out, right? But he didn't want to, because he wanted to play it safe, right? Like same thing with some of his other fights, like with Guerrero and with Berto. Like he could have pushed the ante, but he didn't want to. Like. Because he wanted to play it safe. Like, and that's if you actually watch those fights, the fans are, especially the Boldemir fight, from round 7 to round 12, everyone was booing, and even Larry Merchant mentioned that some of the fans actually left MGM Grand. because it was so boring. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll
So
tell you the one that I really liked. I remember the beating he gave to Arturo Gay. I mean, everyone saw it coming. Gay was tailor made for Floyd, but man, Floyd looked so good
yeah,
in that
but
fight.
Gotti, man. I mean, he was
Mm,
already washed up when he fought De La Hoya, and that was 2 years
yeah,
before he fought Mayweather.
yeah.
So yeah, no, yeah,
It's
I
just
can't.
yeah, it's a shame. Mayweather, he's such a good fighter, but all of
Yeah,
his wins, they're always like just got controversy and everything.
yeah.
The guys
Except,
he was
except
old,
Yeah, except for the Castillo and the Diego Corrales fights, I give him credit for those, especially the
mm,
Corrales fight because Corrales was a dangerous 130 because he was big, and and I think it was the lineal champ at 130 when he fought him. Um, so, but then when he moved to 140 and then onwards, he kind of like cherry picked his opponents, man. Kind of like what
yeah,
he's doing to Tank Davis.
A little Penny, I wanted to ask you. Obviously, tonight we got a massive fight between Crawford and Porter. I'm pretty. That's gonna be Australian time. That's probably gonna be around four. Great time for you. Um,
New Zealand.
what do you make of that fight? Do you think it's gonna be a war? How do you see that fight going?
Yeah, a lot of people have actually said that that Bud will knock out Porter. Man, no one's
Mm,
knocking out Porter. If Errol Spence could knock out Porter, Bud Crawford will not knock out Porter, and he's not going to quit either.
mm,
I think. Look, I think I like Bud. This is Bud's best opponent yet since
yeah.
Gamboa.
Mm,
I think Bud will win it by decision, but I wouldn't be surprised if Porter wins also because Porter will take him to the deep waters, and who knows if Bud can swim out of that because he hasn't been tested at 147, and a Porter will bring it, man. Like he will he will bring everything except the he will bring everything. So I actually think that this is going to be a closer fight than most people think.
mm,
I hope, man. I
mm.
want a good fight.
That's I'm very excited for that fight. There's few fights that you get. This one's really exciting. Jose Ayala makes a good point. He said, or he asked a question. Imran, you hear Benavidez call out Andrade. Canelo is going to face everyone below him to face each other. What do you make of that? What do you? Oh yeah, Little Penny Mackay. What did you make Andrade fought yesterday against Jason Quigley?
You
What
know
did you
what?
make of that?
Quigley. I always knew Andrade. I've always known he's got power, but
Hmm.
he just never. He always wanted to play it safe, like just cruise the win. Like he never actually go for the finish. But in this time, he actually did. He got him out very early, and I was quite surprised though because Quigley, he's a tough guy.
Hmm.
He wasn't like great skill wise or anything, but I know he's tough and everything. And Andre just laid him out, man. So too, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I've been highly critical of Andrade.
Hmm.
Um, because what Mackay was saying, he plays it safe, and he always he's fought nobody. But I'll give him credit for this fight here against Quigley because he did knock him out, and that's what he's supposed to do. So
Hmm.
I'll give him credit for that. Like,
Mm.
I'm not a hater of him. I just want him to fight a somebody, and if you don't fight a somebody, knock him out, like what he did to Quigley. That's what he's supposed to do. But he has to do it a couple of times. He can't just do it once and all of a sudden, oh, he's a great fighter now.
Hmm.
He's got to do it on a consistent basis, and then you can call out like Charlos and these guys. Because man, he hasn't fought anyone like at all. Like,
Hmm.
who's his best? Who's his best win? Was it Williams and Quigley? Like,
His
Hmm.
best win
Yeah.
is Liam Williams, and people don't like to admit it. Like the Yanks don't like to admit it because Liam Williams is British. And, you know how they are with British fighters, but Williams gave him the most toughest fight, and no offense, Liam Williams is not really that good. He's just tough, but he's not
yeah,
great skill wise. And Williams managed to rock him twice. Like he gave Andrade a really good fight, and it's just not good. Andrade's like 34, 33.
Hmm.
He's got quite a lot of fights as well. Like there's no
okay.
way he
Does
is disavoided. Like he can fight ranked guys.
Maka, I was surprised at the venue that they fought, that Quigley Andrade fight. It looked like it was a full house, so that was pretty surprising to me.
Oh, really? What would
Yeah,
you know? Where did they fight?
I don't
Ain't that
know.
one?
I think in
Uh,
Miami.
is Hampshire, like Manchester, Hampshire, in
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, I thought it
America?
was in the US.
Yeah,
Oh,
something like that. Something like that. Somewhere around there.
The crowd was good. It looked like a
Yeah.
full house.
What next though? What next for Andrade? I said that he needs to fight Golovkin, Munguia, or Charlo next. Like ideally, I'd love to see the Charlo fight. But what next? Like we need to see him in a big fight next. It has to be now. Surely.
Yeah, I don't think Golovkin will fight him, because he's a counterpuncher. Golovkin will probably want to fight Charlo because at least you
Mm,
know there's a good chance of beating him. Because Andrade, man, he's a really good counterpuncher.
mm,
Um, you don't have to be a great counterpuncher to beat a great fighter. Like, you know what I mean? You can
mm,
be an average counterpuncher and you can beat a great fighter. You know what I mean?
mm,
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 Whereas a great fighter, so most of the time they can't beat a great counterpuncher. I
mm,
don't know if you guys have noticed that. There's only been a few, like maybe the Julio Cesar Chavez fight with what's his name, with Meldrick Taylor. And look, Meldrick should have been given the victory on that fight. Like, damn.
mm,
Like, I don't know if you guys saw that fight. Holy crap! Like the ref, Richard Steele,
mm,
like he shouldn't have counted. Why did he count him out? Like, what the hell? He
mm,
got up so quickly. But
mm,
anyways, but
mm,
yeah, but yeah, with Andrade, I don't know. Like, man, he's in a. You probably Andrade will probably have to accept like um a lower purse
split
just to get a
purse.
big
Yeah.
fight, like dangle it on, like, say 80-20 Triple G, or
Mm,
70-30 Charlo. I'll fight you
mm,
guys. You know what I mean? And then once he beats them, then you can then do a 50-50, or you can then control the contract a little bit.
mm. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. What about him moving up? What about him moving up and fighting like a Bivol, or him moving up and fighting Benavides?
Benavides. I think Benavides would destroy Andrade. That's why Andrade don't want to fight him. I remember when someone said on Twitter to Andrade, "I want you to fight Benavides." He called you out, and then Andrade said, "Does he have a title?" Like saying that, basically saying he's not going to fight him because he ain't got a belt or anything. But
Mm,
he then
mm,
goes and fights. He then has a fight announced with this guy called Dusty Hernandez, something like
mm,
that.
mm, mm,
And then it got postponed, of course. But I mean, I don't think Ando wants to fight. I don't think Ando wants to move up. He wants to fight guys like Charlo, though. I know he wants to fight Charlo, but
yeah, yeah,
Charlo don't want to fight him. That's the
yeah,
only guy I can admit that's actually ducking Ando because there's been foolproof. I mean, Charlo, he's ducking everyone, really,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
except Golovkin, maybe. I know that they all want to fight Golovkin, but, Golovkin, to be honest, I mean, if it actually got presented to him, he probably will fight. I think he would fight Charlo, but, these guys, they didn't want to fight Golovkin in his prime, but now they want to fight him because he's an old man. They want that payday and everything. I don't even think Golovkin's interested. He's like, why am
Mm,
I going to give you guys a fight now when you didn't want to fight me when I was in my prime, when I was looking for fights and everything? So I don't think Golovkin really cares anymore. That's why he's fighting Morale.
I
Just
like that
get,
fight, dude. The
yeah, that's a good
Charlo
fight, man.
Triple G. Oh my god, that's a barn burner, man.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
Very
I
good
think
fight.
I think there's still a bit of left in Gigi's tank though, and also he's got a chin. So
mm,
I mean,
mm.
I reckon that's a 50-50 fight, don't you think? Or you reckon Charlo is just too young now, too
Oh,
young,
I
too
think I
strong?
think Golovkin beat Charlo.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I don't
Golovkin
really
beats
rate
Charlo.
Charlo, man, to be honest. Like,
I think Andrade beats Charlo as well.
yeah, probably. I mean, I say Charlo. I think Charlo would give Canelo a good fight because of like he's strength and everything. Like, he's not bad or anything. He's not like terrible. It's just he's just a bit overhyped how people make him out to be. Let's just say I'll say that, but he's not as good as people think.
I think Andrade would be a good fight with Golovkin. I think that'd be a great fight.
Mm.
That would be a hard fight. It's just that I don't know whether Andrade has the stamina for 12 rounds. I don't know. Because
Yeah.
Golovkin puts a lot of pressure on you, but whether Golovkin can put that same pressure on you that he used to back in his prime, I don't know.
Yeah, and Andrade,
But
he'll
he's
definitely run around the ring, shell up a lot
Yeah,
when
yeah.
when Golovkin whacks
Grab
him. That's
hold.
for sure. Yeah.
but guys, these guys are looking for the Canelo fight. These guys are at
Mm.
160. Wouldn't you want to move up to 168 first? Maybe fight a tune-up fight just to see how it feels to get hit by a 168
You
pounder.
know, like I said to you, Andrade's fairly a big guy. I think he could even move up to 175 and fight Bivol. Easy. Easy.
I mean, look at Charlo's size. Charlo's huge. He should be fighting at light heavyweight.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Andrade's massive. I saw him
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Quigley was looking small.
Mm.
Quigley
Yeah,
was looking really small
yeah, I
compared to
agree.
him. He looked massive. His shoulders, his size, everything. He looked huge. Andrade's about 6 foot tall. Andrade's the same height as Bivol.
Mm.
So I don't Andrade could easily fight at light heavyweight, easy, especially
Bivol's
against
not really that
Bivol, who's
big.
not quite a big light
Yeah,
heavyweight at
Bivol's not
all.
big at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes when you can't get the fights, you need to go up weight. You need to take a risk.
Mm.
You need to dare to be great, and that's the thing with Andrade. He's like looking for these fights with Munguia, like he's calling out Munguia, which is fair enough. Munguia don't want to fight him.
Nah, Munguia was tailor-made for Andrade. That fight will never happen because Munguia is like a margarita. You know what I mean? Where he
Yeah.
just comes forward and someone like that. You need to fight someone like Miguel Cotto. Like, you know what I mean? Where where he it's like the I'm referring to the Margarita Cotto fight, their first
Yeah.
fight in Las Vegas. Like someone like that, but you can't fight someone like Andrade. Man, Andrade will pick him apart.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people seem to think Munguia wins that fight, though. Little Penny, I've
Oh my
heard a lot
god.
of people say that Little Munguia would knock Andrade out. Now I don't know whether it's because there's a lot of guys that don't like Andrade, but yeah, I agree. I think Andrade would cause Munguia all sorts of trouble.
I mean, to be honest, I think Andrade would win, but I don't blame people for thinking that because obviously when you look at Williams, he was a guy that comes forward. He was obviously eating a lot of shots, yeah, but he was still coming forward, roughing Andrade up. He rocked him a few times. I think Munguia better than Williams. He's tough as well. He's strong,
Mm.
but Andrade, he will be very, very motivated for that fight.
Mm.
Like
He'll be
very
very
motivated for that
cautious
fight.
too. He'll
Yeah.
be
So
very cautious too.
yeah,
Like
I
he's
mean,
not gonna fight like what he did to Quigley. That's for sure. He'll be
No.
like
oh yeah,
he'll be
he'll
very
be very
safe.
cautious. Very cautious. The fight for Munguia is someone like Charlo, but I mean,
Yes.
isn't he fight? He's fighting. I think Munguia's fighting Derevinchenko, isn't he? And then the winner of that fight's Charlo.
Derevchenko, he's no pushover either.
Yeah,
That's a
he's a
good
good
fight. I
fighter.
think Munguia will win because he's more fresh. Derevinchenko, he's been like, I think he's had like 4 wars in a row. Like he's definitely not the same.
Mm.
Definitely not.
He's an old man, ain't he?
Basically now, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, the
yeah.
other guy that we forgot to speak to who had a bad outing was Berlanga. That
Oh
guy's
yeah, he
quite
got
popular
dropped, didn't
too
he?
in New York.
He got dropped, didn't he, in his last fight?
Have you guys
He
seen
did.
Andrade's? He's not mandatory yet, but he's like number 1, number 2 in the rankings. He's fighting on the Bud Porter card. That Jabanek. He's a Kazakhstan fighter, undefeated, got skills. He's powerful, same size as Andrade. That's going to be a really, really good one.
I hope Andre don't fight like in his next fight Gabe Rosado or someone like that.
Oh god, Gabe Rosalo's very, very tailor made for him. Like
Yeah.
He
very,
put up a good fight with Munguia though.
Yeah, he
Like,
did. He did.
yeah.
To be
But
fair.
I mean, the styles of Rosalo is just so tailor made for him. I'm just imagining that fight now. I know exactly what would happen.
Yeah, he is. You're right, Makai. He's definitely tailor made. Just want to see I just want to see Andrade in a big fight. To be honest,
I
it's
mean,
been a
Imran,
decade.
we were saying all this about Crawford. We want to see
Yeah.
him in a big fight, and now Crawford's got his fight. Let's just hope Andrade has this. I hope. Do I think? No. I don't think he's ever gonna have a big fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's not.
Mackay, at least Bud Crawford is sellable because he knocks
Yeah,
out people. He doesn't
yeah,
say
yeah,
much.
yeah.
But,
To be
you
honest,
don't
yeah,
need to
you're
say
right.
much. He he,
Yeah,
he, he performs in the ring like when he fights a C plus or a B minus fighter, he knocks them out, right? Which is what you're
Mm.
supposed to do. Whereas with
mm,
Andrade, he's only really done it once, right?
yeah,
Against
yeah.
Quigley. That's that's not enough.
And
Quigley's not
when
even.
we look at
Quigley's
Crawford, we don't
probably a
view him.
D level fighter.
Mm, yeah. And when we look at Crawford, we don't view Crawford as like a guy who just a point fighter, a guy who runs around the ring like
Yeah.
pot shots. We don't view him as that, but that's how we view Andrade as.
But Makai,
Mm.
what I had a problem with Bud Crawford is like I remember he mentioned like 3-4 years ago, like he wanted the big fights at welterweight, like with Porter, Thurman, and Spence, and Danny Garcia, and Manny
Mm,
Pacquiao, and all that kind of stuff. He should have signed with because he was a free agent at the time. He should have signed with the PBC rather than re-signing with Top Rank
yeah,
because if he signed with the PBC, I'm sure he would have gotten those fights like 3-4 years ago. But he chose not to. He went and chose to fight with Top Rank, and that's that in a way that is ducking. That's straight up ducking,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I mean, my view on it as well is Crawford. He gets 4 million a fight with Top Rank, right? Something like that.
Yes.
So he can just fight whoever they put in front of him, easy opponent. He wins and he gets 4 million. Then he just keeps on doing that. I reckon he just got so comfortable with doing that, just like having easy fights, getting like 4 million. I generally just think he just feels comfortable doing that. He doesn't care about risking himself. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. But he's got the Porter fight. That's probably one of these toughest fights in that division because of Porter's style.
Yeah,
And
Makai, and this is the reason why I think Sean Porter has got a really good chance of winning against Bud Crawford is because just what you said before, Bud Crawford hasn't been tested, whereas Sean
mm,
Porter, he has been tested like, man, he's fought everybody who's of who in the welterweight division.
yep,
So, and that will matter. Like when they go in the deep water, right, and someone has to dig deep, Sean Porter has done it before, whereas Bud Crawford, he's probably only done it once. He probably did it once against Gamboa at 135, right? But he hasn't done it at 147. That's the reason why I think that this fight is closer than most people think.
yeah, yeah. I mean, with that Gamboa fight, Gamboa was tiny. He was so tiny compared to Crawford. Like
He got rocked
Crawford, he's
too a
bigger
few
than
times.
Porter. Yeah, I mean, people. I saw people say Porter could like put Crawford down, rock him, and people were laughing at him. I mean, Crawford's chin is still very questionable. I mean, yeah, Porter, he hasn't got knockout power, but I mean, the guy can still punch. I mean, I remember in the Errol Spence fight, he rocked Errol Spence a few times. No one
Yeah.
likes to talk about it, though. There was a clean punch. He caught with a hook, and Errol, his legs went a little.
Yeah, I remember that. It was late in the fight. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Porter's a big puncher though. I don't think he'll
Mm.
knock Crawford out.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think so. But
I think
people
if there's
think
gonna
he
be a
can take
knockout,
it
it's
down.
definitely gonna be Crawford
Mm.
stopping Sean Porter. Um,
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's gonna be like a really really good fight.
Yeah,
Um,
very.
I can't see it being anything else. I just think it's gonna be an absolute dynamite fight. I'm really looking forward to it. What about you, little Penny?
So what was the question, Imran?
What, are you looking forward to this Porter Crawford fight?
Oh yeah. This is because I want to see Bud get tested, and this is the
Yeah.
fight this will determine what Bud really is. Is he a good fighter or is he a great fighter?
Mm.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna give a bit of a caveat because out of all the great welterweights,
Hmm.
Sean Porter is probably not the best because
Yeah.
when Sean Porter fought Thurman, when he fought Danny Garcia. Oh, sorry, not Danny Garcia. Errol Spence. He lost them, right?
Yeah.
So if Bud Crawford beats Sean Porter, I wouldn't necessarily say he's an all-time great now because Sean Porter is if Bud Crawford would have to beat Keith Thurman and Ugas and Errol Spence for us to say he's a great welterweight. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because Sean Porter doesn't even have a belt.
Yeah. He doesn't know.
I mean, you know what Crawford's saying. Crawford, he's keeping saying, Keith Thurman is still one of the best guys in the division. He only lost to Pacquiao, and Pacquiao's retired. No one else has actually beat him, and he says, "Oh, Thurman, me and Thurman's the bigger fight, and it's the better fight as well."
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Crawford's going to try and get the Thurman fight after.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So just to end this stream, Makai, I wanted to ask you, what are you predicting happens tonight then?
All right. Fuck. Right. I think it's gonna be a really good fight. I think Crawford, he might do what Spence done, put Porter down late, and then it goes, and then Crawford wins on points. Crawford
Right,
wins on
fair
points.
enough.
That's what I think. That's what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be a bit like the Spence fight, except Crawford's gonna have a bit more success than Spence.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that's how I see
So
it.
you going Crawford win?
Yeah, points.
Crawford win. There you go, guys. Makai gives his thoughts on the fight. I want to thank everybody joining the live stream. I might go live later, Makai. Do a live stream. Let's see how I feel. But yeah,
To be honest, man, I just enjoying the fight.
yeah,
If
yeah,
if,
yeah,
if I if I was if I had a YouTube channel, I was doing what you were doing, I would obviously doing the stream now and then just enjoying the fight and then
yeah,
do your breakdown like you usually do.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Makai, thanks for coming on. We'll do a live stream tomorrow, definitely though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
We'll talk about the fight.
yeah, exactly, and talk about what happened and stuff. Hopefully, it's a great fight. But yeah, Makai, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
No, thank you very much for having me on.
No worries, Makai.
Talking.
Take care.
You too, man.
And everyone, I'll hope to see you guys later on. Yeah, guys, Usyk. So Mr. Giggle says Usyk destroys Canelo. Yeah, I think I'd have to agree with you there. I'd have to agree with you there. I think Usyk will be too much for Canelo. I think he's too big, Usyk, but it'd be a good fight while it lasts. But I do agree with you that Usyk would win that fight. I think he's just too big, too strong for Canelo, unfortunately, and I think it's not a realistic fight. But who knows? Down the road, it may happen. But yeah, guys, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I will be doing a post reaction to Terence Crawford v Sean Porter. And thanks for everybody coming on. I really appreciate you guys coming on the stream. I really appreciate you guys turning up. It's always good speaking to you guys. It's always good doing live streams together. But yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you guys in the next live or the next video. Take care, everyone. See you. Peace.